What's going on, guys? Derek Walker here, owner of Walker & Wood. Today I want to talk about what it's like not just working and being in the trades, but also being a businessman. How I can balance the two. You may be happy with where you're at. You may love working for who you're working for, and that's great. But also maybe there's part of you that wants to go out into business and be by yourself, or maybe you're in business and you just need some tips, some tricks, some encouragement. I'm going to share with you what's worked for me personally, because I've had to learn this out. You may be the most skilled person on the planet. You may have a skill and a talent that is desirable, that people want to hire you because you are good at what you do. For me in my industry, that's cabinetry, that's custom woodworking. For you, you could be a mechanic, a plumber, an electrician. You could be good at accounting. I mean, there's so many different ways and skills that you may have. But all of that's great. But if you want to be successful in business, you also got to know and learn business. And that's a difficult thing to just learn. And it's been a process for me. So I want to share just a couple of things that I've learned that I think has been key for our success in business. And I think that if you were to tap into these few areas and just excel in them and get better and better, I really do believe that the sky's the limit for you as a business owner. So the first one for me was really communication. The construction industry gets a bad rap for communication. We're known to be flighty. We're known to start something, not finish it. We're known to be great until we get a first paycheck and then we don't show up, or we're communicating well at the first part of the project and then we don't follow through on some promises that we've made and whatnot. So we've got a bad rap in our industry. Walker & Wood, my business, we're trying to change that one job at a time through over communicating. I try to communicate to the client the expectations right off the bat, our process, how we deal with things, how we handle things, and what they're to expect of us as they hire us. I also try to respond to every question, every email, every text message, whatever comes through. I try to respond to that in a very timely manner, because this is what I've learned. If you don't respond to these messages quickly and efficiently, there are other people out there that are going to respond and may get the job ahead of you. So I will never let it go a day, rarely 2 days, but even a day without responding to a client. Typically, I'm responding to you within a few hours if I can. If I'm not on a job site, I'll respond to your voicemail, your text, your Instagram message, wherever that is. I will respond to you fairly quickly, but I make sure at the end of the day to scroll through all the different sources of ways in which people can contact me and make sure that everybody has been contacted through that day, because if I don't, somebody else will. So respond in a timely manner to your clients. Make sure that, I'm not saying that you have to be readily available all the time, because if we've got work to do, but make sure that you're responding to your clients. Make sure that you're communicating well. If you take a deposit for a project, what we love to do is show clients the progress, the behind the scenes, showing that we're taking care, we're taking our time in the project, but keeping them in the loop, so that, you know, sometimes it's hard just to project a delivery date, an install date, because it's custom, things take time. But if we are communicating to our clients the process and where we're at in the build, then that makes them feel more comfortable that we're not just pushing them off, that we're not just delaying the project, but that we're taking time and to show them behind the scenes and what we're doing. So key number one is over communicate. Excel at communicating. Just be as open with your clients, be as responsive with your clients, and just go the extra mile, because it's going to serve you well. Another part of business ownership is marketing. Again, you can be the most skilled individual. You may be a really incredible maker, whatever it is you do. But if nobody knows you or nobody knows what you do, then how are you expected to succeed in business? I say that because a lot of us may not be gifted with social media. A lot of us are old school, and this whole idea of social media and being online is sometimes intimidating and scary, but that's the way the world is going right now, and a lot of businesses can flourish through word of mouth. We do that. I would say at least 80% of our business comes word of mouth. But then the other part is through social media, is when we post a photo that people see it, that we tag people, that we have a presence on there. And so I would encourage you, if you are starting out in business, to start a social media page, whether that's an Instagram page, a Facebook page, a YouTube, TikTok, whatever that looks like for you. Get out there, get on a platform and start to build your portfolio, because essentially that's what it is. And people nowadays will go into Google and they will type woodworker in Nashville, or go into Instagram and type the same thing. And I want to be at the top of maybe not at the top of that feed, but I want to be in that feed somewhere, so that they are seeing that we have a presence online, that they can see our work, and that they can scroll through, and it's essentially a portfolio. So I would encourage you to get on there and to begin to market yourself. Whether that's on local Facebook groups, whether that is with different, for my industry, whether that's designers, whatever it is, get your name out there. There's paid advertising. We don't pay for any of our advertising, but if you want to pay for advertising, there's a million different ways in which you can do that. Whether that's through local, who even really uses newspapers anymore, but if that's through a newspaper, if that is through a blog, if that is through a TV advertisement, if that's on YouTube, whatever that is, there are ways in which you can get your name out there. But it's free to start a social media page. It is free to start an Instagram, and just start to take pictures, or start to take whatever that is that you need to do to get your name out there. Marketing, it is key to business success. And if you are not good at it, and if you do not want to do it, there are a lot of different companies that you can hire out to do your marketing for you. If you have the material and the content, you can literally just give that to a third party, and they will control the marketing aspect for you. All you got to do is pay. So that's another option for you. We do all of our own marketing. We do all of our own communication. We don't outsource that. I do that myself. So that's what we do. Another thing is clients are key. What I've learned in business is hospitality is the most important thing. If you don't have clients, you do not have a business. Clients don't want to just be, they just don't want you to look at them and see dollar signs. They want to see that you take pride in what you do, that you're going to take care of them as a client, that you're going to treat them with respect, that you are going to treat them as if how you would like to be treated yourself. So clients and how you interact with them is highly important. So for us, if we are going into a home, we are treating that home like it is our home. I'm not going to leave a job site or have my team leave a job site and it be a mess. No, I ask my team and I expect of myself to leave that house hopefully better than what we came into it as. If that means that we've got to spend 30, 40 minutes cleaning up after ourselves and making sure that all the dust and dirt is gone, then we will do it. Because we want the client not just to be happy with the product and what we've built, but we also want the client to be happy that we went the extra mile to take care of their home. If that means that you've got to, put down blankets, if you've got to put down floor protection, whatever that is in our industry, just going the extra mile for your client. Again, circling back to communication, keeping them in the loop, constantly be in conversation with your clients. Hospitality is key. Take the time to get to know your client. You don't have to sit down and just have a cup of tea with them, but just get to know your client. It's not just a transaction deal. Make them feel comfortable. Make them feel heard. Answer every question that they have. The client is key. The client is important. They are not to be a nuisance, and sometimes I understand we can all have difficult clients. I get that, but at the end of the day, the client is the boss, the client is key, and how you interact with that client is vitally important to the success of your business. Because if this client has a good experience with you, guess what? This client's going to tell their friend, who's going to tell their friend, who's going to tell their friend. This client is more likely to leave a good review on your page, which other people are going to see. So it has a knock-on effect. Treat your clients well. It will serve you well. Another thing is research. You have to do your homework. My wife makes fun of me because whenever I'm not working, I'm here and I'm doing research, I'm watching YouTube videos, I'm constantly trying to learn to be better. I'm in conversation with people that are in business that I admire. I'm pestering them with questions. Hey, how do you do this? What worked for you? What didn't work for you? So doing your homework, doing your research, seeing what other people in your space locally are doing, not even just locally, but you can get online and seeing what other people in your industry are doing that seems to be working well for them well then maybe you could begin to adopt some of their practices, adopt some of their things that they're doing because they're crushing it in their space, and so you want to do that in yours too. So homework, whether that's to do with pricing, I get that question a lot. It's like, how do you figure out your pricing? Well, I talk to other people in the industry. I talk to guys that I admire in my space, and I ask them, I'm like, hey, what would you charge for something like this? And I understand that, yes, they're competition, but we have such a healthy environment of makers in the Nashville area specifically that, yes, we're competing against one another, but also we want to help each other succeed. And so I'm always asking people like, hey, what is your charging process? Like your pricing, how do you figure out yours? And so doing your homework, because you don't want to be the most expensive out there, but you also don't want to be doing it so that you're making no money. So trying to do your homework and figuring out pricing and whatnot is key to growing your business. So and that goes home, when I say doing your research, doing your homework, that goes into how you can deliver a better product. What tools could I use? What equipment do I need in order to make this process better and more efficient? So constantly be learning about your trade. Have this attitude of I'm never fully there. I have never fully reached the point where I know everything. Constantly be able to be teachable, that you're constantly learning. So yeah, do the homework. And then really a key to business ownership too is scaling. Is you can be a one-man show, and that's great. It wasn't for me for a long time. I was a one-man show, but at the end of the day, I am one person. I can only do so much. And so if you're wanting to scale your business, for me, I was wanting to scale my business. I was wanting to take on more projects. I was wanting to make more money. Well, I could only make so much with it being me. I could only pump out so much product with it just being me. So I had to hire on. And when you're hiring on a team, they don't all have to be proficient. They don't all have to have the skills. They don't have to have a resume a mile long. The thing that I look for most is, are you teachable? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to put the work in necessary to grow the business, but also to grow you individually as a person? If you don't have the skill set, we can teach that. But also, I also want to balance that with bringing on guys that are ready to hit the ground running, that are coming in, that bring a skill set, that are coming in, that are good at what they do. And so I try to find the balance, because I don't want just to have a team with, nobody knows what they're doing and I'm having to take time to train and to equip. No, I want the balance. I'm fine with teaching a few, but I also want guys to come in that are efficient in what they do. So part of scaling your business is finding people out there, men and women that are willing to come onto your team and to work alongside you and to work for you to grow your business. And part of that is creating an environment in which people want to work for you. I will say with my business, I hope that I provide a space for the guys to not only learn, but to have fun and to enjoy, where they get paid well for their skill, but not just that they enjoy their work, that I am fun to work with, that I'm just not like cracking the whip, but I'm seeing them not just as a worker, but I'm seeing them as a person that has a family, that they're a dad, that they have kids, that I want it to be a family environment. So that's also key too, is business culture. Your culture of your organization is vitally important to how you grow, because you want your guys on your team to be happy. If your team members are happy and thriving, then you know what, they're going to enjoy what they're doing, and they're going to be putting more of themselves into your product, into your work, and so you're going to get a better result in the outcome too. So scaling, you want to bring on the guys that are skilled and qualified. You want to bring on the guys that maybe don't have any knowledge but are teachable. If we're all teachable, if we're all willing to put the work in, to get our heads down and to put out the best product that we can, and have fun along the process, then who knows where things could go. But that's just what we've been doing at Walker and Wood. That's what I've seen kind of working for us. So those are a couple of areas, a couple of places in which I feel are vital for you if you are starting out in business, if you have been in business for a while. Those areas again are communication. Your clients are key. Marketing yourself well. Doing your research, doing your homework whenever you're not necessarily out in the work, but you're constantly surrounding yourself, immersing yourself in it. And then to just scaling. If I want to take this to the next level, what do I do? And then finally, what I will say too is get a mentor. Find somebody that you admire, that you want to be like, and just ask them. Ask them for advice. Ask them for questions. I've got several of those. I didn't have them when I was starting out. I wish that I did. Ask them the questions. Ask them how did they get to where they're at, because that's how you're going to learn. Surround yourself with people that you want to be like, because whenever you spend time with people, that's really essentially who you're going to become more like. So if you've got somebody that you admire in your space, ask them for coffee, ask to get together for dinner, get on the phone with them, whatever that takes. Ask them, would they be willing to pour into your life? And I will say this, like, I've had several people ask me some questions about business, ask me to go for coffee or whatnot, and my answer has never been no. My answer has always been sure, absolutely, would love to help. And that's part of the coaching that I'm offering as well. We're going to be doing that, and if you need somebody just to walk alongside you in business, you don't have to be local, you can be anywhere. I would love just to hop on a call with you and to encourage you and to challenge you as a business owner. See what your practices are right now, see how we could expand those, see how we could grow your company, or just get the ball rolling. I would love to help you with that. I'd be honored, really. So if that's you, reach out to me. But again, thanks guys for listening. Appreciate it. We'll catch you soon.